Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are trying some new makeup. I recently went to Sephora and Ulta and I picked up some new things. Sephora was having a promotion where if you're rouge, you got a free little like crossbody bag. And of course, that's all the excuse that I needed to go to Sephora and get some new things. And I also have some things from Ulta as well. They recently did their 10 times the points promotion that they do like once or twice a year, where whatever you buy, you earn 10 times the Ulta rewards points, which if you don't shop that promotion, you definitely should. I try to save up some things for Ulta so that I can purchase them when they do that promotion. They typically do it around this time of year every single year. So I have a bunch of new things here. We've got the Armani skin tint, we've got RMS concealer. We of course have some new blushes. I have one of the Ilia blushes. I thought we could also use these Hourglass palettes that I did not really get a chance to use in my last new makeup video. So I have those. I have another Makeup by Mario shadow, the new DIBS mascara. That is what we're doing today. If you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around, subscribe, and let's just get into the makeup. All right, I've already done my SPF. Today I use my La Roche-Posay. I'm trying to use these up. I'm almost out of them. So I use this. I use the tinted and the non-tinted mixed together. And that's all I have on my skin right now. So let's get into this first product. This is one of the things I'm most excited about. This is new from Armani and it's their skin tint. This is very, very new. I think this has only been out for a week or two at this point. But I remember years ago, Armani had a skin tint and it was discontinued. I want to say it was called like the Neo Nude skin tint or something. Maybe I'm making that up, but I feel like that was the name of it. Anyway, I'm assuming this is replacing that product because that one's been gone for a little while. But this is what it looks like. It comes in a tube like this. You do get 1 fluid ounce in here. This retails for $49 and it comes in 20 shades. So this is supposed to be long wearing and let's see, what else does it say about it? That's about it. It just says it's long wearing. It has niacinamide. It's supposed to be very hydrating on the skin, light coverage, radiant finish, pretty standard when it comes to skin tints. It does have a pump, which I don't mind. And I got the shade L2. And in store at Sephora, this looked like it was gonna be a really, really good match for me. So it's kind of hard to get it out of this pump. That's the only thing with products like this that are in a tube with a pump. Sometimes they don't want to come out, but this is shade L2. So it's very thin. It's not watery, like it's not running down my hand or anything, but it's very, very thin. But that is shade L2, and I think this is going to be a really good match for me. I was thinking it was called Armani Luminous Skin Tint, but maybe it's not because the box just says Skin Tint. I'm just applying this with the 115 from BK Beauty. It is pretty fragranced. It's nothing like crazy, but I definitely smell a pretty strong like floral scent. So keep that in mind if you do not like scent. This definitely has a little bit of fragrance in it. Okay, I think I may apply a little bit more. It's so thin that I feel like a little bit doesn't really go a long way with this. Yeah, I do think this is a pretty good shade match for me. Let's add a little bit more. There we go. That pump came out a little bit easier. So yeah, incredibly thin. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see like where I'm swiping it on right there. I mean, it's very, very thin. Not a thick skin tint at all. It looks to me, I would agree right now, pretty radiant on the skin and definitely light coverage. So there it is on my skin. I would say that's about like a pump and a half maybe. That's what it looks like. So it looks really nice, really smooth on my skin. It applied well over my SPF. That's like one of the main things that I always look for. And it does look radiant. Like there's definitely a glow to it, but it's not the most glowy thing that I've ever seen. It's a little bit more of like a natural looking glow, which I like. And I would say the coverage is very light. You're not getting much coverage from it. I mean, you get a little bit, but it's not anything more than like just a standard light coverage. I don't know that this is going to be a formula that really builds up either because it's so thin. I just don't see you really being able to build up coverage with this one, but it looks very nice. This is the kind of product that I personally like for a daily wear base, just because typically I pair whatever I use for a base with a fuller coverage concealer. So this is exactly the kind of thing that I would typically wear day to day. This does not have SPF in it, if you're wondering. No SPF, which is fine with me because I wear SPF underneath anyway. And yeah, I think the shade is a spot-on shade match just for my natural skin tone. And it's shade L2, if I didn't say that. But yeah, looks very nice so far. All right, I do actually have a color corrector that's new. Well, technically it's not new. It's not a new launch. And I have used this in the past. I just haven't owned it in a little while. But I figured I would use it in this video because this is a product I get asked about a lot. And it's this corrector from Tarte. It's the Colored Clay CC corrector. I get asked about this quite a bit, and I'm guessing it's because this is a big product that you see a lot on TikTok. It's on TikTok Shop. In fact, that's where I purchased mine, was TikTok Shop. There are a lot of like promotional ads for this product on TikTok. And I saw it, I kind of forgot about this one, to be honest. But fun fact about this is this was actually the first color corrector that I ever used years ago. Like before I even had a YouTube channel, this was what made me fall in love with color corrector. I tried this one time and just loved it, and I've been wearing a color corrector ever since. So fun fact for you about this one. But this formula is very, very emollient. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to tell by just looking at it there, but it's very creamy. So it is a cream texture, obviously, but it's very hydrating. So this I typically apply with my finger just because this type of texture I find applies really well with the finger. So I'm probably gonna at least place the product with my finger, and then I might use a brush to blend it out. So this is the shade Light Medium Peach. So this is a very light color corrector for me. So, you know, it's not going to correct as well as something that's a little bit deeper would, but it is very nice. I like the consistency a lot, and I do like the color. So this is a product, because it's not super dark and deep, I could definitely get away with wearing this by itself instead of pairing something on top of it. We have that new RMS concealer, so I am going to pair something on top, but because this is kind of the same depth as my skin tone, I could definitely get away with wearing this one on its own. This is not like a full coverage corrector. I definitely wouldn't call it full coverage. I would say you're going to get like medium at the most with this one. My Kosas corrector that I've been using recently, that one has more coverage than this one. Still a nice formula. If you like a cream and you need something that's a little bit more hydrating, you might like this. This formula is very similar to the Sigma color corrector that comes in the little compact. That's kind of what this one reminds me of. Their formulas are very similar. Next, we're gonna try this from RMS. I actually haven't seen anyone talk about this product yet. This is the Revitalize Hydra Concealer. So this is also very new. I think this has only been out for a week or two. And I have tried a lot from RMS. I did a full face of RMS Beauty earlier in the year, like back in January, I think you might have seen. And this product is brand new, so I did not try this in that video. But this is a medium coverage, or what they're saying is this is medium coverage satin finish, which I love a satin finish complexion product. And the applicator on this is like a little paintbrush. Hold it back here a little bit. Yeah, so it's a little paintbrush. And this is the shade CN7. Yes, CN7. I have tried the RMS Uncover Up Concealer before, the one that comes in the little pot. That one was okay. I didn't have a great shade match in that concealer, so I ended up decluttering mine, but it wasn't a favorite for me anyway. But this is shade CN07, and I think this is going to be a good match. Fingers crossed. Let's test it out. It does come in 26 shades and it retails for $35. I picked mine up at Ulta. If you don't know, you can get RMS at Ulta online. I don't think you can get it in store at Ulta, but you can get it online. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit where I want some more coverage because that skin tint was very light coverage. I'm gonna use that same A506 that we used earlier for my under eyes. Okay, yeah, I think the shade is definitely good. I tried to make sure I didn't get one that was too yellow because that was definitely the issue I had with the Uncover Up Concealer. The shade that I had was extremely yellow, so I just never wanted to use it, but this shade looks really good. Okay, so it's blending in really, really easily. It does look like it dries kind of fast to me because it's blending in, but it's not like moving around very much as I'm blending it. So I do think it dries kind of quickly. But yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. In fact, I didn't even know that this was coming out. I just saw it on the Ulta new arrivals page when I was shopping for the 10 times points promotion. I really like RMS though as a brand. I do find that their complexion products, so their foundation and their Uncover Up Concealer, those shades were kind of hard for me. I found them all to run really warm. So I never had a good shade in either one of those products, but their products overall I really like, especially the blushes and the bronzers. So there is that applied on my face and under my eyes. Ooh, it looks very nice. Yes, definitely satin finish for sure, which I love. That is my favorite finish. And it looks very, very natural under my eyes. It doesn't look heavy at all. In fact, it's kind of undetectable on my under eyes. It really doesn't look like a whole lot. Definitely not a ton of coverage. I would say like light medium probably at this point, because we do have that corrector on underneath, and you can still see a little bit of my discoloration peeking through. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm just pointing it out. And yeah, it looks nice on my skin. I think that color is a really good match, which that makes me so happy. I hate it when I buy a concealer or a foundation really and the shade is wrong. But this, I think, is a good shade match. And I love how it looks over that skin tint. So let's add a little bit more. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to take a little bit more concealer right here and maybe a little bit right here and right here. It does have a little bit of like tackiness to it maybe. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but it does have a little bit of like kind of like a grippy feel to it, but not like in a heavy way or anything. But it does, the formula is not super thin and watery. It's thin, but it has a little bit of tack to it. Blended that in. Yeah, skin looks really, really good. I like it a lot. The under eyes, I really like. It does say this formula is crease proof. Now, I don't think anything is crease proof. I think if you have creases, a product is going to crease, but so far it really has not creased under my eyes at all. It looks really nice. Looks very hydrating on the skin, but not in like a greasy way. So far, so good with these products. I just remembered I do have one. This is not a new product. It's new to me, but this has been out for a while. I forgot I had it, but I figured we could try it. This is by Tower 28 and it's the Sculptino. They sent me this a few months ago and I still have not tried it. So I figured we could try this today. And this is the shade Broad. I think this is the lightest shade maybe. I could be wrong, but I've tried the blushes in this formula before, but I've never tried the Sculptinos. So that is the shade Broad. Looks a little bit light for me. Well, my hand has a little bit more color than my face does. So it probably won't look as light on my face, I'm guessing. I'm gonna use a 109 from BK Beauty and kind of getting it on the brush and then tapping it on my skin. Ooh, I really like the tone of that. I think, I could be wrong, but I think this was the lightest shade that they had. I don't know how long these have been out, but it's been probably a few years at this point. This is one of the only things actually that I haven't tried from Tower 28. I've tried pretty much everything from them. This was one that I have not. Definitely a pretty light shade, which is fine for me, but definitely on the lighter side. I'm gonna take some on my nose as well. Ooh, I do kind of want to try the new House Labs contours. Have y'all seen those? I don't think they're not out when I'm filming this video. They might be out by the time this video goes up, but they're in sticks. I forget what the official name of them is, but anyway, they're by House Labs. You might have seen them. Oh, and did y'all see the Natasha Denona High Glam foundation is coming out? I am so excited. I'm so excited for that. I cannot wait. That also looks very nice. Very pretty. Like the color. It's warm, but not like crazy warm. Let's move into blush now. Yeah, we have 3 blushes because why wouldn't we have 3 blushes? First that I picked up is from House Labs. So this is not new. I have I have 2 of these actually already. This is the Color Fuse Glassy Blush, but this is one of the new shades that came out this summer in Glassy Cayenne. And I just couldn't help myself with this. I actually saw this in store one time when I was there and I didn't get it, and then I went back and looked at it again and I had to have it. But look at this color. I think this is so pretty. It's kind of like a red, like a rosy red, kind of a sunburn color, I guess. So I did pick that up. I already know that I love these because I have 2 of them. I also picked up one of the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal blushes. I swore I was not gonna get one of these, but I think, I'm trying to remember who it was that I saw use this color. I think it was Nikki LaRose. And this is kind of a different color for me. This is in the shade Pretty Glow. It's kind of pink, but it's also like kind of lavender looking, but it's like a really pretty, like poppy, kind of like electric pink lavender kind of color. I don't really have a blush that tone, not that I can think of at least, in a cream. So we have that. And then a lot of you were asking me about these from Ilia, the Soft Focus Blurring Blush. This color is Glimpse, and I swatched this already. This is a really light color. I really wanted Breathless, but they didn't have it when I was in store. So I got this one. And this one is pretty too. This is the shade Glimpse. This one is just a little bit lighter in tone than Breathless, but that is Glimpse right there. But it's just kind of a light, like a mauvey pink. It's pretty though, it's just on the light side. If I really like this, I will probably still buy Breathless because that one looked a little bit darker, a little bit more of like a pinky nude, a little bit warmer than this color. But those are the blushes that we have. So the question is, which blush should I use? I guess I can use the Ilia on top of one of these 2. It would probably go best with this Pretty Glow from Charlotte Tilbury, and I've never tried this formula before, so I think I'll do this one. So I'm going to use the same 109 brush, and I'm going to kind of tap it off on my hand because I've never used this formula before. And just start tapping this in. Okay, yeah, so it definitely has like a lavender kind of hue to it. It's kind of like a baby doll pink, but it definitely could look a little bit lavender. So these are pigmented, but they're not like, it's not like crazy pigmented. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of the House Labs blushes, those glassy lip and cheek, I think is what they're called. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Very pretty. Very interesting shade. I have a few like cool tone pinks, but I don't really have anything that has like this lavender kind of hue to it. Up close, it looks really pretty on my skin. It's not really like enhancing anything on my skin, like where I have majority of pores right here. It's not looking like it's really emphasizing them. Definitely very glowy though. It has like a very glossy look to it. So if you're not a fan of that, you probably will not like these, but it's very pretty. I don't know. It's like a lot of other cream blushes. At some point, you know, cream blush is kind of cream blush. They're all kind of the same at the end of the day, but it's really pretty. And that is, again, the shade Pretty Glow. There's also a Rosy Glow. That one's more pink, not as cool toned as this one. I almost got that one, but I went with this just because I always go with like the rosy pinks. And I thought I'd try something different. Let's use a little bit of this Ilia blush. Now, I don't know how much you're going to be able to tell about it since we're applying it over the Charlotte Tilbury, but we will try it. I'm going to use this, the A507 from BK Beauty, and just apply a little bit of that on top. I think this color should go really well with that blush. Yeah, it does. This is a very light shade. I think this is actually the lightest shade in these Ilia blushes. These are also very glowy. They're like, if you've ever felt these in store, they're very smooth. Like they almost have like a blurring, velvety feel to them, but yet they have a little bit of like radiance to it. So that's Glimpse right there. I kind of want to take a little bit of this one. I really shouldn't though, but I'm going to. Just to add a little bit. I don't know why. Like I'm barely adding any because this is gonna get really out of hand, but I don't know why. I just want to add a little bit of this. This is definitely a lot warmer than the other two, so this is more of like a sunburned kind of look, and they've definitely got a cooler tone thing going on, but I do love these. Okay, I am gonna go over everything with my foundation brush real quick. And I really like the finish of everything on my skin. It definitely has a little bit of glow to it, but my skin doesn't look overly like oily anywhere. So I'm liking these products so far. I do not have a new like powder or anything. I think I'm just going to use a little bit of this one. This is what I have in my everyday makeup this month, the Hourglass Veil Powder. And I'm going to apply this with the number 98 brush from Sephora collection. It's a really good size for the under eyes. I'm going to do my brows really quickly, and then I'll be back and we'll move into the eyes. And I think we're going to use these Hourglass palettes, maybe the new Mario shadow. I don't know, we'll see. I'll be right back. All right, did my brows. Now let's move into the eyes. So like I said, I do have these new palettes from Hourglass. If you saw my last Trying New Makeup, I showed these. So I have the Minimalist Quad that looks like this. It's the all matte one. And then I also have the Realist which looks like this, which is a little bit more on the neutral side. So I kind of want to use these, but I also have this new shade from Makeup by Mario in the Master Matte Cream Shadow. This is the shade Mauve. I have Sandstone and Taupe also, but this is shade Mauve, and I just had to have this color. I love the tone of this. It's a really pretty mauve-y kind of nude shade, kind of like a taupey mauve, I guess. But it's really, really pretty. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this Mario shadow first, and I'm just gonna do a little bit. If you hear noise in the background, that is Woods. He's out playing with my mom. He has a little bouncer thing that has this little toy attachment on it that plays these songs when you play it. It's really cute. Okay, so there is Mauve. Ooh, that color is so pretty. These are so nice, y'all. Like, they are so nice. You do have to work quickly with them, but they are so incredibly pretty and just long wearing. All the shades, they're just so nice. I'm just really impressed with them. So let's put this on the other side as well. I've been using Sandstone a ton since I got it. It's a little bit lighter than this color. This one's not super dark, but it's definitely darker than Sandstone. Okay, I'm also just gonna use that same brush. I didn't get any additional product on it. I'm just using what's already on it. This is a 206 from BK Beauty, by the way. This is what I literally always use for creams, liquids. It's the perfect brush for that. Now, I'm trying to decide what I want to use. I don't want to make this too dark because that mauve color is already darker than my skin tone. So if I add a ton of shadow, it might get really, really dark. I'm gonna take a little bit of this cream in the Minimalist quad, and I'm gonna apply a little bit of that kind of in the inner portion of my eye right here, just to kind of brighten it up just a little bit, and it'll kind of set that Mario shadow in place, even though these stay in place really well on their own. And then I'm gonna go to this shade next to the cream. It's kind of like a light taupey brown. And I'm switching to a smaller brush. This is a 211 from BK Beauty. And I'm just placing a little bit of that shade in this very outer corner. These hourglass shadows are really pretty soft. They're not like crazy pigmented, so you don't really have to be super careful with them. I love that kind of formula though, because they're, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit easier to work with a formula like that, especially if you're not wanting a lot of pigment. So I put it in the outer corner, and then I'm kind of feathering over into this crease area. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of these two, so I'm gonna kind of mix them together. And I'm going to use this tiny little smudger brush. This is from Jane Iredale. It's just a tiny little smudger eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to basically apply those on my lash line, like liner. Not trying to be like super precise, just want a little bit of definition there, but like soft definition. A little bit more of a wing than I wanted, so I'm going to take this brush and kind of soften it just a little bit. I know some people have been calling these little palettes from Hourglass really boring, and I mean, I guess they are kind of boring color stories, but some of us really love boring, you know? I would call myself very boring, so these are right up my alley. Now I'm going to go back to this cream shade here with that same 211 brush from BK Beauty, and I'm going to go kind of under my brow right here with that color. That'll kind of blend this crease here and just kind of brighten up under the brow. I think that's all I'm going to do on the eyes, but I am going to take a little bit of liner in my waterline. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 liner in Tootsie. I also got a new lash curler. My last few videos I kind of talked about how my lashes lately have just not really wanted to curl, and I started to wonder if it's from my lash curler, just because, I mean, I've basically been using the same one for a few years. I use the one from Charlotte and I love that one, but I figured I could try a new one. This one is by Shiseido. I've always heard really good things about this one, so I'm gonna try this out today. But yeah, my lashes have just not been curling very much at all. Okay, that one looked like it did a pretty good job of curling though. I do have a new mascara. This mascara from DIBS, this came to me in PR, but this I've been seeing kind of all over the place. So this is a dual-ended or double-ended mascara. One side has a primer and one side has the mascara. But what's interesting about this is the primer is actually brown. So this is the primer side. So the primer is a dark brown and the mascara is black, which is kind of interesting. Usually primers are white, or I've seen blue ones before, but I've never seen a brown primer, I don't think. Anyways, we're gonna go in with the primer side first. So it's kind of just a straight rubber wand. I will say this mascara is really large, like the component is very large, so it's kind of hard to hold. Okay, so there's the primer. The primer honestly looks really good on its own, but now I'm gonna switch to the mascara side. So this wand is much different. It's much larger with like pretty long bristles. This doesn't look like a rubber wand, but it's totally different shape than the primer wand. I do kind of wish they were both brown because you know me, I love a brown mascara. I think my lash serum is finally starting to work because my lashes look the best they've looked since pregnancy. So the mascara and the primer, they're definitely on the drier side. They're not like wet formulas, but that is the primer and the mascara. It looks really nice. Not clumping. Even though this type of wand typically, I would say, kind of has a tendency to clump. Kind of reminds me of like the Too Faced Better Than Sex wand. That's kind of what this one reminds me of. I'm gonna add a little bit more and see if it starts to get clumpy. Definitely starts to get a little bit like thicker looking when you add a second layer. So there's 2 layers of mascara and then the primer underneath. Yeah, looks good. Definitely got a little bit more clumpy looking when I added that second coat, but I guess technically it's like 3 coats since we had the primer underneath also. My main complaint would be it's really large. Like this is it next to my head. I wish it was a little bit smaller. It's just not super easy to hold. Honestly, I wonder if you could just use the primer by itself. The formula is definitely on the dry side. I kind of wish the formula wasn't so dry. Sometimes, I don't know, I don't really prefer super dry mascara formulas. I mean, I don't love them super wet either, but I don't know, sometimes I feel like drier formulas, it's like harder to get it to adhere to your lashes than a wet formula. I don't know. Yeah, so this side is looking a little bit clumpier than the other side. Okay, yeah, I didn't love it as much on this side. It looks a little chunky on my eyes. I'm really picky with mascara though. I like a really soft, separated look for mascara, and honestly, I've tried quite a few mascaras this year and I haven't really loved any of them. I don't know how else to describe it other than like chunky. I like mascara to look very wispy and natural, unless I have like a lot of makeup on and I'm doing makeup for like a special occasion or something, then I don't mind a more intense mascara, but I don't know. Definitely got kind of clumpy on this side. I don't know, maybe I could just use the primer. The primer was not bad on its own, but I don't know. I'm not sure that I love this. Okay, moving into lips. I did get this, y'all know me. I rarely go to Ulta or Sephora without at least one lip liner. That's just who I am. I don't know what it is with me and lip liners, but I have a problem. But this is one of the new Charlotte Tilbury Lip Contour Duos. And this is the medium color. So you get two colors. Obviously it's dual-ended. So I'll swatch these for you. And these are a different formula, I think, from her originals. These are like a traditional wooden lip liner. Her originals are more of like a gel type of formula. But that is shade medium. So you have one shade that's a little bit deeper, a little bit more of a contour, and then a lighter shade. I'm not sure if the lighter shade is meant to like fill in the lip. I almost wonder if it is. Oh, duh, Blair. Okay, it says fill on the lighter side and sculpt on the darker side. So yeah, the lighter one is meant to like fill in the lip. But before we do this, I have one other lip liner that I want to show you. I have fallen in love with, and I got on, I posted this on my Instagram story the other day, but this is by Wonder Skin, and it's the contour lip liner in the shade Saddle. This is such a good color for me, for my lips, my natural lip color. So my natural lips are pretty pigmented. They're like a rosy, mauve-y kind of tone. This is Wonder Skin in the shade Saddle, and this color is literally the perfect lip liner for my lip tone because it makes my lips look fuller because it's a very similar color to my lips. But I've been using this every day since I got it. I posted on my story a few days ago, but I'm in love with this lip liner. Anyway, I'm not going to use that because I want to try this, but I wanted to mention it. I'll link it for you below. They're not crazy expensive by Wonder Skin. I think they're like $18, but let's go ahead and use this one from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so this is actually very creamy feeling for a wooden pencil. Definitely a good contour color. Definitely a little bit creamier than I was thinking it was gonna be. Sometimes if pencils like this are too creamy, they'll like move around. So I don't know about that. I do like the color though. Okay, I'm gonna flip to the other side and kind of fill in the lip with this. So I think when these came out, they released a new gloss, one of the Plump Gasm glosses in a nude color. I didn't pick that up, but I think that's what came out with these lip liners. But yeah, that's nice. I love those two together. They're very creamy though for a wooden pencil. So I don't know about the longevity on this. I'll have to update you on that. But I like those two colors together. I don't have anything else new for the lips, so let me grab something to apply. So this is the product I was talking about. This is not the new shade. This is one of the original shades in Pillow Talk medium or light medium. There's a new one that's like a nude color, but I figure we'll use this since this is from Charlotte Tilbury too. So this gloss is very plumping. So if you don't like that, you definitely would not love this. It's pretty. It really tingles though. All right, that is everything that we're gonna try today. Let's go through the products quickly and I'll give you my initial thoughts on them. Armani Skin Tint. Okay, very excited about this. I think this is probably gonna be something that I really like. I wanna keep wearing it obviously, but I love the overall look, the finish. Very nice. My only critique with this would be it is pretty fragranced. I kind of wish it didn't have the fragrance in it, but it's Armani, so I'm not like shocked that it does. But on the skin, I love the finish. It's a very nice satiny, natural finish. Very light coverage though, so if you're looking for coverage, you don't get much from this, so just keep that in mind. But it's really nice, and this is the kind of thing that I love on a daily basis with a concealer that has more coverage. So to be determined on this, but so far I'm really excited about this. I love it on my skin. Same with this concealer, this RMS Revitalize Hydra Concealer. I love the shade in CN07 and it looks really smooth, really nice, hydrating on my skin. I actually love the finish of this as well. This is supposed to be a radiant finish. I would say it's a little bit more on the natural side to me. This is also like a natural satin finish. So these two pair really well together, and the RMS looks beautiful on my skin and under my eyes. Definitely no more than medium coverage, I would say, but it's really nice. You get a decent amount of coverage with this. Excited to keep using this. No complaints so far. The Tower 28 Bronzino, this is really pretty. Not a new product, obviously. It's just a cream bronzer, so you know, it's nothing super special, but I do like the tone of it, and it applied really nicely on my skin, so I like that. In terms of the blushes, I like this from Charlotte Tilbury as well, the Unreal Blush. I really like how this looks on my skin too. The color, I don't know that this is like my favorite color blush on me. I don't know about lavender blush on me. I typically go for something that has a little bit more warmth to it, so something more like the House Labs in the Cayenne shade. But I do like the way this looks on my skin. I don't know. I might pair this maybe with like a warmer powder blush next time to warm it up a little bit. But I like the overall look, the finish. It's pretty pigmented, but not crazy pigmented. It's very easy to apply. So I like the formula a lot. I'm not sure the color is like my absolute favorite, but I like the way it looks on my skin. House Labs, I've used these many times. I think these are great. Very similar in terms of the look on the skin to those Charlotte Tilbury ones. So, you know, it's a cream blush. It's a glowy, glassy cream blush. I just have more experience with this formula, and I love these. And let's see. Oh, the Ilia blush. This is nice. I do wish I had gotten Breathless though. This shade is just a little bit muted, a little bit too cool toned maybe. I don't know. I could probably pair this again with like a warmer cream blush and it might look a little bit different. But the formula of these Ilia blushes is beautiful. It's so smooth and like creamy feeling, but has a little bit of glow to it without being like a metallic glittery glow. They're really nice. I really like these. I definitely want to pick up the Breathless shade because I love that formula. What else do we use? Okay, the eye products. Mario shadows, I already told you, but love these. I can't recommend these enough, especially if you have oily eyelids or you have trouble with creasing or just cream or liquid shadows not lasting on you. These are very long wearing and all the colors are beautiful. I love them all. Mauve, again, beautiful. They're super easy to blend and apply, but they do dry quickly. So that's the one thing I would say. But for that reason, they're super long wearing. So those are a definite favorite for me. This cute little Hourglass palette. I mean, I'm excited about this. Yes, is it super, you know, basic? 100%, but I will use these colors. I will use this palette because this is the kind of makeup look, especially on the eyes, that I love and I do on a regular basis. So for me, this is a no-brainer kind of purchase, but you know, everybody has different preferences. I personally like the Hourglass quads though. I know there have been some negative things said about them because of the price. Yes, they're expensive, but for me, I know I'm going to use it. I love the colors, the formula is great, so I don't regret it at all. The DIBS mascara is probably a pass for me, and not that it's a bad product, it's just not really what I like for like an everyday mascara. It's a little too much for me, and I thought when I did this eye it wasn't clumpy, but then when I did this eye, it kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of clumped these lashes together, and I just don't love that look personally. I like something that's more separating and lengthening. I don't love the packaging either. It's like way too big. I wish it was a little bit smaller. But if you like this kind of formula, you might love this. I just like something a little bit more natural. Hopefully it doesn't flake or smudge or anything. I'll update the description box, so make sure to check there. But this is probably gonna be a pass for me. And then the Charlotte lip liner. This is nice. You know, is it anything revolutionary? No. I do like that it's dual-ended, I will say that. But I actually love those two colors together, the contour and the fill shade. and it looks great with gloss on top. So I think I will definitely get some use out of this. I will also update the description box and let you know if the liner stays well or if it moves around or anything, because this formula is definitely on the creamier side, so I'm not sure how well it will stay and last, but I will let you know. Oh, the Shiseido Lash Curler, so far so good with this. I gotta keep using it, but hoping maybe this will be my answer to helping my lashes stay curled a little bit more. But I think that is everything. Oh, one more thing I wanna ask you guys. I did not bring it out here. Well, let me grab it really fast. So one other product that I have that's brand new is the Bare Minerals Original Pressed Powder Foundation. I was gonna use this in this video, but then I had the Armani skin tint, and I feel like I need to use this kind of on its own to really see what I think of it. So are you interested in this product? So this is supposed to be the original Bare Minerals loose foundation, but in a pressed version. I haven't seen anybody talking about this. I didn't even know it was coming out. I got an email from Bare Minerals actually, and I ordered mine from Ulta, but I haven't tried it yet. And I'm just trying to gauge if y'all are interested in this. Do you want a video on this? Should I do a dedicated video on it? Should I use this with some other products? Let me know your thoughts. Bare Minerals and I go way, way, way back. That was the first foundation I ever used. So I had to pick this up, but I haven't tried it yet. So let me know your thoughts. If you want to see a video, please let me know and I will definitely do that. But I do have this as well. I also have some other drugstore stuff that I've picked up, like the new L'Oreal Skin Ink. I have the e.l.f. Skin Tint I've never tried, Maybelline Primer. I have a bunch of drugstore stuff as well that I haven't tried, so I need to use those in a video as well. But let me know what you want to see in the comments, and everything that I used today I will link in the description box and in YouTube shopping for you as well. That'll pop up somewhere on the screen, and if you do shop through my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel, so thank you for that. Make sure to go follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. I've been posting a lot more on both of those platforms, so make sure you are following me there as well. But I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.